Welcome to the video lecture on course code U18 PCIT 401 Web Programming. And I am Dr. B. Dhanlakshmi, Professor, Department of Information Technology, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research. And today we are going to see Unit 1, topic Web Page Designing using HTML. So first we'll see Introduction to HTML. What is a HTML file? So HTML means it stands for Hypertext Markup Language. So it is a format that tells a computer how to display the document in a web page. So the documents may be in plain text form, or it may have images, videos, okay, and even the text files may be with special tags or codes that a web browser will interpret and display the information on your computer screen. So a HTML file is a text file containing small markup tags, and these markup tags will be interpreted by the web browser, and that's how the web page will be displayed. A HTML file must have an extension of .htm or .html. And next we'll see an example HTML program. So always the first starting tag of the HTML program is HTML embedded within the angular brackets, say less than and greater than symbol. We call that as an angular bracket. So every HTML program will start with the opening tag and it will be closed with the end tag, that is the last tag. Okay, so the last tag will be preceded with the slash followed by the tag name. So here the first tag in HTML program is HTML, which you can see on the screen as the first line of the code, and this tag will tell the browser that this is the start of your HTML document. And the last tag will be /HTML, and this tag tells the browser that this is the end of your HTML document. And we have even other basic tags which you will know in this example, like head tag, the title tag, body tag, and even the tag which adds style to the document contents, which is bold, like B, the tag which represents to change the font to be bold. Okay, so we'll first start with head tag. The head tag will have again the opening tag and the closing tag, and which represent the header information, and the header information will not be displayed in the browser window. And the title tag, which is represented in the title of the document, and this tag is used to uniquely identify each document and is also displayed in the title bar of the browser window. So if we open 2 or 3 web pages in the browser, so this title tag will uniquely identify and will be displayed on the title bar of the browser window, using which we can easily distinguish which web page you have opened. So you can simultaneously you can open 3 even more than 1 web pages at a time, and this title tag will help you to uniquely identify each web page. And the body tag, the text between the body tags is the text that will be displayed in the browser. So the contents to be displayed in the web page will be enclosed within the body tag. And here we have discussed about the bold tag here. This bold tag is used to display the contents in a bold style. And now we'll see what are HTML tags. The HTML tags are used to mark up HTML elements, and these HTML tags are surrounded by the 2 characters less than and greater than symbol, which are called as angle brackets. So this surrounding characters are called angle brackets, and the HTML tags normally come in pairs. Like we discussed, it will have an opening tag and closing tag. So the first tag here in a pair is the start tag or the opening tag, and the second tag is called as the end tag or the closing tag. The text between the start and the end tags is the element content. And the HTML tags are not case sensitive. That is, the bold tag, which is represented as small letter B, can also be represented as capital B. So both represents or both will have the same functionality. So we say HTML tags are not case sensitive. And now we'll discuss about the logical and the physical HTML tags. So the logical tags, which are designed to describe to the browser that the enclosed text meaning, like example, the strong tag, the logical tag, which has been quoted here as an example, is a strong tag. By placing text in between these tags, and we tell the browser that the text has some importance, like it will do the same work as bold. That is, the text enclosed within the strong tag will make the text to appear bold. And when seeing the meaning of strong tag, so we could guess what is the functionality of the tag, right? So this is called logical tag. So it will have an enclosed meaning along with the text of that HTML tag. And physical tag, on the other hand, provide specific instructions on how to display the text they enclose. Like they are just to add style to the HTML pages. So these physical tags add style to the HTML pages, like tag B, which makes the text bold, and tag big, which makes the text usually one size bigger than the existing size, and tag I, which represents or which makes the text italic. So these physical tags will just add style to the HTML page. And now we will see what are HTML elements. So an HTML element is defined by a starting tag, and if the element contains other contents, it ends with a closing tag. So here certain tags has to be enclosed within, that is certain tags will be in pair, like it will have the opening tag and the closing tag. Like see, paragraph tag is given as an example here, like P represents the paragraph tag. So this, it will have an opening tag and the closing tag. And then H1 tag, like which represents the size of the text. So H1 represent the biggest size, and followed by H2, H3 up to H6 tag. So where H6 represents a smaller font. And there are some HTML elements which don't need to be closed. That is, it won't have the end tag or the closing tag. So some examples of such HTML elements are image tag, BR tag, that is to give a line break. So we use BR tag. An image tag is to add image into the web page, and HR tag, which is horizontal ruler to draw a line in the web page. And these are known as void elements, and these tags doesn't require the closing tags. And we also have nested HTML elements, where we can keep one HTML element inside another HTML element. Like example given here, inside H1 tag, we enclose another tag I. So to make the text italic. So here the tags are nested. And second example, inside paragraph tag, we are nesting the underline tag. Okay, so here two tags are nested. So these are nested HTML elements. And next we'll see about HTML attribute. So an attribute here is used to define the characteristics of an HTML element and is placed inside the element's opening tag. So always the attribute along with the value can be specified in the opening tag of the HTML element. So the attributes will be having two parts. The first is name part and the value part. And the name is the property you want to set. For example, the paragraph element, that is a paragraph tag in the example, will carry an attribute whose name is align. The attribute name is align and whose values can be either left or center or right. So we can align the text in the paragraph to be left oriented, or the alignment can be centered, or you can right align the paragraph. So the value here is what you want the value of the property to be set, and always it will be enclosed within quotations. The below example shows three possible values of the align attribute for the paragraph tag. So the first example here, P align is equal to left, which shows that the paragraph is left aligned. And next is P align is equal to center, which denotes that the paragraph is center aligned. And P align is equal to right, where this shows that the paragraph is right aligned. So always the attribute will be mentioned along with its value in the opening tag of the HTML element. So here the paragraph tag, and in the opening tag of the paragraph tag, we add up the attribute called align, and whose value can be either left, center or right. And next here I have listed some basic HTML tags. So here the first tag is document type, which defines the document type, like information about what language you are using. Okay, so that can be mentioned in the version of the document. So that can also be mentioned. The information about the document can be given here. And next is, it defines HTML tag. It defines the HTML document. And next is the head tag, which contains metadata or information about the document. So this cannot be seen. The information here in the head tag cannot be seen anywhere on the web page. It just contains the information about the document. And next is the title tag, which defines the title for the document. And then body tag, which defines the document's body. And then defines the HTML headings. And then defines the paragraph tag. And then line break BR, which denotes the line break to give a single line break in the web page. And then HR, which is a horizontal rule, which defines a thematic change in the content. To split the web pages into sections, you can just use a line break, that is horizontal ruler can be marked. And last tag here is a comment tag, that is which defines a comment section, like who is the creator of this website, what version is that, and what languages we are using. So you can add up comments about the various stages of the HTML web page development. And next here I have shown the sample HTML program and the corresponding output also I will show you. So here the HTML program has a head tag, and the head tag consists of the title tag, and on the title bar we'll be having the text, the title of the document. And in the body tag we have the H1, that is which represents a heading. This is a heading and with larger size. And paragraph tag P, okay, where the content displayed will be, this is a paragraph on the web page. So now we'll see the output of the program. So you can see and you can run the program in any of the web browser, and here we see the title bar where title of the document is displayed on the title bar. And if any number of web pages are open, this title bar will will uniquely identify the what web page is that. And then we have the heading tag H1 inside that. So this is the heading you can see on the output, and then this is the paragraph. Okay, so these contents we can see on the web page. And next, we have listed some of the logical tags and the physical tags. So logical tags here, which defines an abbreviation, and second acronym tag, and next address tag, which denotes address of the website, like address of the creator of the website. Okay, everything can be enclosed here. And next cite tag, which defines the citation, and code tag, which defines the computer code text, and then long quotation tag, block code, and then del tag, which defines the text, and DFN, which defines the definition term, and then emphasized tag, then insert tag, keyboard tag, pre-formatted text tag, and Q, short quotation tag, and sample computer code, and then strong tag, and variable, so variable tag, and physical tags, which adds up style to your HTML pages, like bold tag, big tag, I, which denotes italic, small, which defines small text, and sub, which defines superscript text, and sub tag, which defines subscripted text, and TT tag, which defines teletype text, and U represents deprecated, and which represent underline style, okay, which underline the text enclosed within U tag. And next we will see table tags. So how to define a table in a HTML web page. So table tag can be used, and caption tag, which adds the heading of the table, like the caption of the table, what the table is all about. So that can be defined using the caption tag. And TH, which defines a header cell in the table, and TR represents the row in a table, and TD represents the cell in the table, and T head represents it groups the header content in the table, and T body represents which groups the body content in the table, and T foot represents which groups the footer content in the table, and col represents the column properties for each column within the column group element, and col group represent which specifies the group of one or more columns in a table for formatting. And next we will see the sample HTML program with table. Like what is the table is all about? It is given in the title tag, like savings list. So the table heading is the table element. And here we are giving the table border. So table is the tag, and in the opening tag we are adding up the attribute called border, and whose value here I am giving as solid, so that you will get the border for the table. So TR, which represents the row. So the first row of the table is enclosed within the first TR tag, the spare, okay, and inside that we have TH, which represent header tag, table header. So the first column of the table is month, and the second header, the second column of the table is savings. And second row represents the value of the table, so which is enclosed within the TD, the table definition, the TD tag, table definition, like which has the first value, the first column value as January, and savings column, the second column value as $100. So this is your first row value, and the second row value is enclosed within the next set or next pair, so which is The first column value is February in the second row, and the second column value of the second row is $80. Clear? And now we'll see the output of this program. So we will get a table in our web page. Can you see? So the title bar of the web page is savings list, and the table heading is the table element, and then the table, you can see the style of the table, that is border has been given as solid border, and the first row is the table header. So the table header, first column header is month, and the second column header is savings, and the first row value is January and $100, and second row value is February and $80. And our next concept is list tag. So where you can list the elements in the web page. Either you can go for ordered list or unordered list. Like how you give bullets for the text or numbering for the text, we use list tags satisfying the same purpose. So unordered list can be achieved using UL tag, and ordered list we can achieve using OL tag. And LI represents, it defines the list item. And DIR represents directory list, and which will not be supported in HTML5 version. So instead we can use UL, that is unordered list. And DL represents description list, and DT represents term or name in a description list. And DD represents, defines a description of the term or name in the description list. And here is the list tags, and example having the list tags and the corresponding output also we will see. So first, this heading given here is list element, and you are going to list the set of drinks like coffee, tea and milk. So first we enclose that as unordered list, and next we are going to represent as ordered list. So here UL represent unordered list, and here we list the items using LI. So first item we are listing is coffee, and the second item we are listing is tea enclosed within LI tag, and the third item we are going to list is milk, which is enclosed within the third LI tag. And next we are going to use ordered list, which are going to be numbered. So the first in the list is coffee, which is number 1, and next is tea, number 2, and next ordered list is milk, number 3. And next we are going to see about the description list. So description list means you are going to define that about coffee. So coffee is a black hot drink, and say milk is a white cold drink. So we are using definition list and the definition term, and how we are going to define DD. So here the coffee is going to be described as black hot drink. So the term you are going to define is coffee, and what you are going to define about coffee, it is enclosed within DD tag. And next term you are going to define as milk, so which is enclosed within DT, the term, and next you are going to define about this milk in DD tag as white cold drink. So this is enclosed within DL tag, description list. So we'll see the output of this program. So where you can see first unordered list using bullets listing the items coffee, tea and milk. And next we use ordered list where we use numbering 1, 2, 3 for listing coffee, tea and milk. And then we define the terms, that is we go for description of these items what we have listed earlier. So first we describe coffee as black hot drink, and then we describe milk as white cold drink. And now we will see what are HTML entities. So some characters have a special meaning in HTML, like less than sign, that defines the start of the HTML tag, right? And entities here are case sensitive, as we discussed earlier. And certain entities, if has to be displayed as such, like when we see the angular brackets less than or greater than anywhere in the document text, it will be considered as a tag. So you cannot display less than or greater than symbol as such in the document text on the web page. So for that, we need to use character entity. The character entity will have three parts, like ampersand, an entity name followed or entity number and followed by a semicolon at the end. So to display a less than symbol or the greater than symbol, we must write using this character entity format. So the disadvantage is that not all browsers will support this character entity names, while the support for entity numbers will be good and suitable for all the browsers. So we will see some of the examples, like to represent the non-breaking space, we need to use ampersand, as we discussed earlier, ampersand followed by the entity name NBSP followed by semicolon, or ampersand followed by the entity number, that is hash 160 followed by semicolon. In the same way, if you want to display less than symbol in the web page, you cannot do, because less than greater than symbol nali, it will consider it as HTML tag. So to display less than or greater than, we have to use this character entity format, like ampersand followed by LT followed by semicolon, or ampersand followed by GT followed by semicolon, or you can use the corresponding entity number. And the same way for ampersand, we have to use ampersand AMP semicolon, or the corresponding entity number should be used. And to display quotation mark or apostrophe, we have to use ampersand QUOT, quote, semicolon, or ampersand A pause for apostrophe. Okay. So, or the corresponding entity number can be used. So another example here for non-breaking space has been given. Say paragraph, inside paragraph, though we give space, in the output, the space will not be displayed. The space will be truncated by default. But when we want the space to be displayed, you have to use the character entity. So what character entity for non-breaking space? Ampersand NBSP semicolon. So when you want three space in between, you have to give the entity name three times. Like see here, ampersand NBSP, ampersand NBSP. So three times it is given. Then only you can get the space here in the display. So this is how the character entities are used. And next we'll see what is the importance of HTML doc type. So we already discussed the doc type is used to just tell what language you are using, what rules we are using while designing the web page, what markup language we are using. So here is an example like doc type HTML. So we are using doc type HTML and the same program, the basic program, to just display the content of the document on the web page. So we will see the output. So this shows the content of the document on the web page. So here we can see the document type shows the HTML language is used, while the document type displays that HTML language is used while designing this corresponding web page. And next is cascading style sheet. So cascading style sheet is mainly for adding up style to the web documents. You can add a font, you can change font, you can add color, you can add spacing. So this can control the layout of the multiple web pages all at once. So you can define styles for your web pages, including the design, layout, and the display for different devices, which will be suitable for screen sizes. And the advantages here, this increases download speed, makes pages more accessible, it reduces the code and reduce time spent for maintaining and changing the website, and multiple styles are cascaded into one. And this is the CSS syntax. So cascading style sheet CSS. So this has a selector. So the selector name will be given where you are going to apply the style, and property 1 is some value, and property 2, the second attribute along with the value you'll be mentioning. So example is given H1. So which is the selector, and in H1 what style you are going to apply. The color is white and the text alignment is center. So these styles will be applied when H1 tag is applied anywhere in the program. Say example is given where we have the H1 tag, the style body, inside body tag, what style you are going to apply. So this cascading style will be mentioned, that is will be represented inside the style tag. So it has the opening style tag and the closing style tag. And in this style tag, we apply style for the body of the HTML program, that is web document. And H1 tag has also the style, color as white and text align as center. And the paragraph also has the style with font family as Verdana and font size as 20 pixel. So this style will be applied to the web page now. So this is called internal style sheet. So where when the body tag is there in the web program, automatically the style which you are applying for the body tag will be applied here. And when you see H1 tag here, automatically the H1 style tags which are represented will be applied. And paragraph tag, so the embedded styles will be seen on the web page. So let's see the output of the program. Can you see here? So this is my first web page. So the simple web page that we are designed using the HTML tag, where this cascading style sheet is also embedded. So we have changed the font. Okay, the font of the paragraph as we have fixed, and also the color of the font. Can you see? The color of the heading is white, so which we have fixed. So the font has been fixed as Verdana, and the color of the heading has changed as white. So all the styles we have embedded now in our first web page that we have created. So thank you, students. So with this, we have seen web page design using HTML, and we'll meet in the next lecture.